What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, hate is bad.
What's up, guys? Max here, back with another episode of the ScuttleButt Show. It's great to see you all, everybody in the chat. Tilted, Eric, Andrew, Regal, Eviana, Tiffany, Phantom, Ika, Chris, Eric, John, everybody. Thank you for being here today. It's Friday out here in Okinawa, Japan, which means it's Thursday night back in the United States, where most of you probably are. And we've got a lot to talk about today, which is going to be epic. And Ed, did I forget Ed? What's up, Ed, as well? And Cody. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Let me hit you guys first with the about yesterday, as we always do. So yesterday, I told you guys I announced a book. I'm excited. What's up, Alex? I'm excited about the book. I'm working on it every day for you guys. I appreciate all the feedback, all the things you guys said you were interested in knowing about and all that. I can't wait to have that ready for you. Thanks for listening to me ramble about that. And as a reminder from yesterday's show, just to be on the lookout for the fact that after this weekend, live episodes will no longer be available public to watch on the channel. I'm going to do everything I can to make them available for members and Patreons to have the links available, but they're not going to stay up anymore. So if you want to watch or listen to replays of the show, it's going to have to be through the podcast or through Patreon or being a member of the channel, okay? I just have to do that to try to clean up the channel a little bit, so just so you guys are all tracking on that. Let's see, what's going on here? I have arrived, fellow gamers. Ika says, Eric, although I agree with the principle of leadership accepting accountability for their mistakes, I'm beginning to think that Lieutenant Colonel is a narcissist with his sights set on public office. We're going to talk all about it. I'm ready for tomorrow being a day off from work before block leave starts, John. Nice, that's awesome. Though, Eric, I don't think you did this for any interior motive. How you doing, Max? I'm doing good. Thank you. With extensive accountability required of all service members, do you not feel that it's okay for him to demand the same higher up for the chain? I feel the only debate to be had is how he went about it. Cody, that's exactly what I said. That's what I said. What did I say in my video? By the way, here, check this out. Here's my video right here. I'm here for it today. I'm here for it today. Tell me all about what you think about Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, because I'm here for it, okay? Here's my video. Marine Colonel is wrong. Here's why. 175 dislikes on my video here with comments like, respectfully, as a fellow vet, you are wrong. Your suggestions of making change from within is exactly what many of us leaders have been trying to do. The ROE has escalated, he says. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller and many like him realized the military has become a bureaucracy with senior leaders making plays on their own self-interest, pandering to their civilian elected counterparts. It's too late to keep playing their games. I am not here to tell you that I think that he's wrong or doesn't have a point. I said that I think he does have a point, but I think that the people who are online commenting on my video, thumbs downing it, are people who don't actually care about the Marines killed, about the withdrawal from Afghanistan. They're just internet fanatics who hate the current administration, and Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is currently their hero. And that's not going to last for him, and he's screwing himself over, okay? Here, do you guys remember this guy? Let me get right into it. You know who Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is? He's the flavor of the week, like this guy, the Space Force CO, fired over comments about Marxism in the military. Do you guys remember Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Lohmeyer, the commander from the Space Force, the first person fired for claiming that Space Force was Marxist? And guess what? He has a new book out about it, and he was on Fox News making the rounds on OAN, Fox News, and conservative media for what, about a week? And where is he now? What is he doing now? Where's that hero to this whole movement now? And I agree with the message. I agree with the message about accountability. In fact, I agree so much. Where was the accountability for the Marine Lieutenant Colonel stealing from the exchange thousands of dollars worth of merchandise who got a slap on the wrist, Lieutenant Colonel Lee? Where's the accountability for that leader? Where's the accountability in the investigation of the AAV that sunk, leading 8 Marines to be killed when the piece of equipment that they were using that should have been down for maintenance was put into the water anyway because they felt like getting it back to mainland California, right, for maintenance? that led to them getting killed with the improper training, improper PMCS on the equipment and all that? Where's the accountability for how many veterans have died because of failed leadership decisions from every administration? Where's the accountability when the Bush administration admitted that going into Iraq was a mistake and that there were no WMDs and tens of thousands of Americans were killed or wounded over there? Where's the accountability for that? Where's the accountability for the countless sexual assault victims, equal opportunity victims of harassment and prejudice within the military that I'm talking about on the show every day? Where's the accountability for that? There is an accountability problem. There's a huge accountability problem. And Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is now failing at holding those people accountable. He's failing at it. The people commenting on my video are failing too. They don't care. They don't care at all. The people commenting on this video, I believe, don't care at all. Where are some of these good comments? So basically you're saying he is right, but people are generally too cowardly to do the right thing, or he should have just gone along to get along. No, I'm saying that the only thing that matters, the only thing that can ever affect change, and I'm talking about the military and outside the military, it's not the system. You can't blame the system. The system never hurt anybody. Only people can hurt other people. The system can't do anything without people enforcing it. The system can't hurt anybody. The system is powerless. It's only people that matter. And how do you influence people? You have to get where the people you want to influence are and set an example, which he cannot do anymore. He can't do it from resigning his commission. You know, and I'm not accusing him of not caring about these other things, because I'm sure that this is his actions are an accumulation of events. It's an accumulation of fatigue and frustration over the BS that we all deal with, that we talk about in the ScuttleButt Show every day. So I'm not accusing him of that, but the people that are supporting him on the internet right now, on LinkedIn and Facebook, and commenting on my video about how wrong I am, which my feelings aren't hurt, I'm confident that what I'm saying is correct. So you're not going to find hurt feelings out here from me, but those people don't care. Where was the outrage for all these other incidents? Nothing. It's only when it meets the expectations of the people on the internet, when it satisfies what they're already seeking to have satisfied, that they care at all. Don't let these keyboard warriors get you fired up, Max. It's not. I'm not fired up about these keyboard warriors, which is exactly what they are. I'm just trying to point out that there's an obvious thing that's happening here that, you know, if you just say what's obviously happening, you get attacked on the internet, which is fine, no big deal. This video actually illustrates what he is arguing in the original video. Calling him out as wrong equals you're part of the problem. I'm part of the problem? They're saying that I'm part of the problem. You know, I'd like to see where these people are at in 30 days. I've got something else to show you guys. I've got something else to share with you guys here in a second. Let's see. A person that stands for nothing will fall under everything. That man is the embodiment of masculinity. These people don't know this guy. All they know about him is what's happened in the last week. I support Scheller. God bless men like him and more should stand up for what's right, or else we have nothing left to ever fight for. It makes me sick to my stomach the way we left Afghanistan. We are disgusting. In this world, these are ducks and there are eagles. You, sir, are ducks. Talking about me. I respect what he is doing and agree 100%. If I were still in the Army, I'd follow his example. I hope others do likewise. I doubt it. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Where are the influential leaders standing up with him, which is what I said in my video. I said in my video, he's not going to find influential leaders willing to go public in their support for him. And I haven't seen any that are any more than superficially supportive. I haven't seen anyone supporting Lieutenant Colonel Scheller any more than a quick comment or a tweet, which is not actual support. Okay? A tweet or a comment on the news is not support. Look no further than Lohmeyer, the Space Force Lieutenant Colonel, who, what's he even doing now? Let's see. What's he doing now? He's got a book I'm sure he sold a bunch of copies of his book. Let's see. Nothing. No recent articles. Nothing. No recent articles. No updates on what's going on with him since June, when this whole thing broke. Nothing since June. Nobody's talking about him anymore. Another military officer who gave up his commission, who gave up his place in the Space Force, his place in space, to make a political statement against Joe Biden, which is fine, and I think very warranted, very, very warranted. He's now, where are his supporters? The same people who are supporting Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, telling him he's the man to carry out the mission for America, to be a patriot, that they've got his six, are the same people who did the same thing for Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer, who now is, who knows what he's doing. He wrote a book about Marxism in the military, and that's it. That's his moment. That's the hill he's going to die on, so to speak. That's the last impact he'll ever make. Is that moment on TV, that book that he wrote about a moment in time, is the last impact he's ever going to have, and he cannot help anybody else. He cannot influence any people who will eventually rise up in the ranks, the junior officers and enlisted, and that influence will never trickle down. He'll never be able to truly impact anybody. And I've got something here that I want to show you guys. And I have to say, I can't verify it. I cannot tell you that this is verified. It's from Reddit, okay? This is something, I've got something here from Reddit, and it is a Facebook post. It's claiming to be a Facebook post by Stu Scheller that was since deleted. And the only reason that I am putting it on here unverified is because when I went after I saw this on Reddit to his Facebook feed and was reading through comments on his other more recent post, there were comments on there that says, I hope this post doesn't get deleted too. Hopefully we see this post before Facebook takes it down, all that stuff. So this is from Reddit. This was posted by a Redditor saying it's from Stu Scheller's Facebook page, and I can't confirm that this was a post, but I'm going to show it to you guys now that I've made that disclosure. It says here, Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, the Reddit poster says, is in a worse spot than I think he perceives it to be. He had posted this on his Facebook before it was since deleted, is what it goes on to say. 755 up tweets and 176 comments on Reddit. Headquarters Marine Corps has spoken to Marine Corps Community Services, MCCS, and asked them to stop stocking the Perfect Ribbon products in the exchanges across the globe. For those who are new to my story, in addition to my Marine Corps duties, I am an inventor, investor, and small business owner. One of my larger successes is known as the Perfect Ribbon. My partner and I patented and created the Perfect Ribbon, a mold, to make it easier for service members to place attachments on their military ribbons. I realized the need for this product when I returned from Afghanistan and glued my fingers together while trying to place a V device on my ribbon. True story. We've all had issues putting our racks together. MCCS happily picked up the product in 2018 to better connect with their customer base, the service member. We are currently in 45 exchanges globally, and this year have had our best year yet. Losing the Marine exchange business will likely put us out of business, he says. So, let's summarize my current position. My family left me. I've given up my retirement and all benefits. My small business ventures are being run out of business. I'm pending court-martial and, depending on the outcome, potential break time. And now my motel room is starting to smell like empty Miller Lite cans because maids don't clean in COVID, it says. Now, that is disheartening for sure. Justin says, snort a line of pre-workout and go off in the comments. Justin, thank you very much. $4.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I just, dry scooped some pre, and now I'm going off. But that's an unofficial Facebook post that he might have taken down. I hope that that's, I guess I hope that that's not true. I hope that that's some troll out there. But if that is the case, then I can probably go over to the MCX and check myself to see if the Perfect Ribbon is in stock out here in Okinawa. Dude's got a huge ego boost off the whole story, same as the Gallagher guy. Can you find his Facebook or Instagram? Oh, yeah, we're about to go to his Facebook. We're about to talk about that. Thank you, Justin, again. He should start a pillow company instead. Yeah, he's going to be up there with the My Pillow guy. Half of these jokers probably never even served. They get on YouTube and just flap their gums. 100% true. Most of these people have a vision of what a service member looks like, what a veteran is. I had a retired air crewman tell me once when I said, I don't hate Obama. I don't hate Barack Obama and, you know, his policies. I don't hate him for the choices he made as president. And he said, how can you call yourself a veteran and not hate Barack Obama, is what he said to me. And I've said this on the show before. How can you call yourself a veteran and not hate Barack Obama? Like, there's this so, you know, and that's a retired air crewman that I worked with in the Navy. This extremely narrow view of what a veteran looks like. And if you don't fit it, they want to just destroy you. And I agree, and I can't say strongly enough or reiterate enough that I agree 100% with the position that Stu starts with, but then he's wrong. He's wrong. And he's confusing these internet commenters with actual meaningful support, which is not what this is. If I go over here, here's an actual, this is Stu Scheller's live LinkedIn page, okay? This is his live LinkedIn page. I'm logged on with my LinkedIn account here. To all my followers, it's been a long week for me. I plan to take the next week off of social media. However, I felt compelled to make one final statement so that people aren't overwhelming my inbox with questions over the next week. First, I am as good as can be expected. My followers experienced a roller coaster of emotions with me this last week. All of your stories were comforting. The empathy shown revived my belief in humanity and Americans. I hope when faced with perceived injustices, all Americans make the decision to always fight. I believe warriors never quit. I know I will never quit. This situation, like all others before it, will only make us stronger. And now we've got people in the comments on my video and on his video saying that they'll follow him into battle. It's time to have a revolution and all this stuff. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? I don't even understand that this basis, that this is what I was talking about, where people are blaming Joe Biden without ever pointing a finger at ISIS. ISIS gets a pass. ISIS gets a pass for launching a suicide attack on Americans because it's scary, because terrorists are scary. I get that. Terrorists are scary. People are scared of terrorists, so they don't want to combat them. They want to combat politicians because they have very little to lose. You can go to bat and stand up to a politician, not Stu, the commenters. You can go to bat and talk about how much you hate an American politician. How lucky are we that we live in a country where you can go and trash talk and insult and threaten politicians on the internet and carry on about your life. You can't do that to terrorists because they'll kill you. So it's scary. So people don't want to confront terrorism. They want to confront politicians and give the terrorists a pass because they don't want that smoke. That's the truth. So they see a guy like Stu as the hammer and the president's the nail. So they want to invest in the hammer for 10 minutes. They're going to have 10 minutes of YouTube commenting, go out of their way to find a video like mine, which is great. Thank you for checking out the channel. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And leave a comment and feel like they're doing their civic duty instead of walking out their front door and making the world a better place, because that's difficult to do. Because standing up to evil is a difficult thing to do. It's way easier to leave a comment on the internet, something like that. People have no idea what's going on in the world. He goes on to say, second, I want to clarify the purpose of this whole endeavor. Accountability. Without accountability, Marines, Americans cannot heal, and the Marine Corps America cannot evolve as an organization. I must acknowledge that the rage escalated in my body very quickly, and perhaps my emotions didn't always provide the rational clarity the situation required. But maybe every once in a while, a little rage is required too. Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. An emotional response. He's making an emotional response. Going forward at this point on my life's path, I must remain committed to forcing accountability across our senior leaders. I do not trust that reviews done by panels at a political military level will bring the change we seek. And I do not trust that it will change unless a strong enough force is applied to the system. Major changes are needed. The system needs to be broken and rebuilt. We need fresh blood and perspective across the entire system. Here's a crazy idea to illustrate my point. What if we allowed the next EWS honor graduate to become the next commandant? If you say it's not possible for a young, intelligent, charismatic leader to lead an organization such as the Marine Corps, then I'd say you haven't been reviewing the history books you tell us to read. If you say it's not possible because that young officer can't navigate the political landscape of D.C., then I'd say you're making the point for me. It's time for a new generation to assume American power. We are ready, and we reject the current system. Third, this entire experience has illustrated to me just how hungry Americans are for honesty, accountability, and reform across the government. This was expressed to me from all political parties. We the people want change. We the people will take it. We the people are all Americans. Yeah, I'm sure he got a lot of Facebook and LinkedIn comments about everyone's support. And then when he shows up to actually do something, and he's going to go, oh, you know, Commander this, Sergeant that had my back. Where are they? They're going to be nowhere to be found. If he takes a week off social media like he says he's going to do, that's the end of his mission. That's the end. That's the last we're going to hear from him. Everyone wants to get really passionate about things for 5 minutes, for 2 days, for a news cycle, and then forget. Look no further than Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer. Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer, Space Force, tried to tell us about the Marxism in the military. Got a lot of popularity for about a day. Where is he now? Follow me, and we will bring the whole effing system down in a constitutional manner with one loud voice. So he's kind of already walking it back. We're going to bring the whole system down in a constitutional manner with our voices. I respectfully ask all reporters, authors, friends, congressional offices, etc., to please also stop texting for the next week. I need to unplug. That unplugging is going to be the last time that we hear big news out of Stu. There will be a small pocket of people that follow him online for a little while. He'll make some, dramatic statements, and it'll get people riled up, and that's going to be that. If we look at the comments on this, 300 comments, 2,000 likes on LinkedIn, and on Facebook, we've got 1,600 comments, 1,600 shares. God is with you and your family. We are Marines and do not fear giants. Never give up and ask the Lord what you will have me do. Much respect and love. Semper Fi, brother. Oorah. We have your back. Rest, grow in wisdom, and come back when you're ready. We will be here for you. We have the watch. What are they talking about? You have the watch of what? Come back ready to continue to fight. If you go and kind of look at these people who are commenting, most of them are, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but most of them are senior citizen females. Most of the people commenting on here that, he's on the Lord's mission to bring down the system are senior citizen females. Go look him up. Go fact check me on that. You can go look this up. He's got a public LinkedIn. He's got a public Facebook profile on Facebook. And then he's got negative comments too. I showed you guys in my video that he's got negative comments too. People are saying that they've already reported his profile, that he's wrong. He's been posting on LinkedIn here. I thank you for your faithful service to we the people. I pray for you. Jesus' words below, quoting the Bible. There's a pattern here of his supporters. And I think it's the same people who were all about Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer, and who don't give a damn, who don't give a crap about the Marines who were killed in that AAV incident, to the tens of thousands of Americans who were killed and wounded in Iraq, to the thousands killed in Afghanistan because of failed leadership decisions over years. People have been dying in Afghanistan over failed leadership decisions for 15, 16 years, ever since 2003. So, where were you then? There's never been accountability. Let me read some comments. Did it to himself. He had proper channels to communicate his dissatisfaction, decided to take the worst route. That sounds dumb. People want you emotionally attached to politics like them. People are hyping for themselves for nothing. Was it Shap? I don't know what that means. They turned accountability into partisan politics. Yeah, hardly anyone is pissed at ISIS. He could have easily motioned for a change from a leadership position, but decided to be uppity about it. All those whack commenters going to bring the FBI to your comment section, hopefully to subscribe. Let's get to 10K, yep. People are turning this death of the 13 soldiers into BS political argument that's not really even about Biden. Didn't vote for ISIS. I did vote for politicians, so I think we have a right to complain. Yeah, you have a right to complain, of course. What did I say? There's legitimate complaints to be made. There are absolutely, and I'm making them every day. I'm out here complaining every day. A happy sailor is a complaining sailor, as they say. I'm out here complaining every day about it. Every day I'm telling you guys about the injustices and the BS around the military, around the victims. We had a female on the show a couple years ago named Stephanie Kinnaman. Stephanie Kinnaman got out of the Navy, worked for Hire Heroes USA, helping veterans get jobs. She was a sailor who, during her time in the Navy, experienced a sexual assault incident and ended up getting out afterwards. And according to her, and you can go back and listen to her episode, this is when we were still on the radio in San Diego, that the officer who she accused of sexual assault never faced any consequences, and she was kind of, brushed off to the side by her chain of command. This is her story. I have no reason to think that it's not true. And she was, as a side note, not really a side note, I don't mean to minimize it, but she was murdered last year in 2020. She was murdered in San Diego, shot and killed over a slice of pizza. There's been no outrage for injustices throughout the military that are happened to our veterans, happened to our service members, ever. Only now, and only for the next week or two. And no one really is going to care about Afghanistan, the people over there. There's legitimate complaints to be made. 10% of the people who wanted to get out couldn't get out, the president said. So there's almost 600 Americans trapped in Afghanistan under threat of being executed or tortured or killed by the Taliban. And the message from the administration is that we're supposed to be, confident because the Taliban promised they wouldn't do anything bad. That's a disgrace. Lloyd Austin supervised the failed withdrawal from Iraq and the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. Should there be accountability for him? Of course there should, in my opinion. Absolutely. Everywhere that guy goes, ISIS wins. How are we going to let that slide? We've got major issues. How are we going to let the UCMJ let officers like Lieutenant Colonel Lee continue on with their career and get their full retirement benefits after stealing thousands of dollars from the exchange, 4K ultra high definition security system, Apple AirPods, noise canceling headphones, Estee Lauder, face wash. And if I remember, Task and Purpose went and talked about, when we did this article, junior enlisted Marines who, maybe it's not here, junior enlisted Marines who faced court-martial and imprisonment and dishonorable discharges over shoplifting negligible items from the exchange, which is still wrong. It's still not in line with honor, courage, commitment at all. Absolutely not. Of course not. But why does the lieutenant colonel get a pass? Where is the accountability? There's no accountability for senior leaders. Hasn't been for a long time. I just saw an article yesterday, somebody's still getting sentenced for the Fat Leonard bribery scheme involving the USS Ronald Reagan when I was on that ship, selling out military plans and operations for ships arriving in port in Singapore in exchange for money, prostitutes, and other benefits. Bribery scheme, selling out military operational plans. Where was the demand for accountability then? That's one where they're actually continuing the investigation and still getting people in trouble. That's an example of accountability, but nobody even knows what I'm talking about. Does anybody out there even know about Fat Leonard? Does anybody even know what I'm saying? Anybody even ever heard of that? It keeps going. I could go all day. I come out here every day talking about this stuff. So, tell me I'm wrong. Someone tell me I'm wrong about Stu Scheller. Someone tell me that they're going to care in 3 months or a year. No, they're not going to care at all. They're going to be on to the next thing next week. They're going to be on to the next thing in about a week. I bet Stu Scheller says he's going to take a week off social media. It's the last we're ever going to hear of him. That's the disappointment that I feel, is that people claim to care so much. 6 months ago, nobody cared about Afghanistan. Nobody cared at all. Most Americans didn't even know there were still troops in Afghanistan or could care less about it. Now everyone is bleeding hearts, for the civilians in Afghanistan, which they should have been for this entire time. And they're not going to care next year. What about Iraq? What about the military in Iraq? What about the civilians in Iraq? What about the atrocities going on in Africa and the troops in Africa and the Green Berets killed there last year or 2 years ago? No one cares. These people don't really care. Some people care, but these people who are commenting, and this is why I feel bad for Stu Scheller. This is why I wish that I could, reach out to him and say, Stu, these people don't care about you. Nobody has your 6. These people in your comment section don't have your 6. They don't care. They don't care. They're not going to be there in a week when you get back. Some seriously disturbing comments out there. Some good comments. Somebody said Smedley Butler would be proud of you. I know I am. If you guys haven't read the book, War is a Racket. Very easy read. You can read it in one sitting. Check out War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler. Came back from World War I and exposed the military-industrial complex. And that the profiteering of war. It's great. Fat Leonard. Justin says, I know about Fat Leonard. That was huge. Techno Ruffles says, Fat Leonard, ? Eric, Max, the voice of reason. Thank you for telling the truth. Tiffany, my mind is reeling from all of this. Those are of our service members will never get justice unless there's accountability by those higher ups. Pretty much everything wrong with BF5 is wrong with, you're talking about video games. I'm glad I didn't get in the Army at the time. I've still got my legs. We'll always be there for you, Max. Oh, thanks. Max is indeed the voice of reason. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Fat Leonard was a scandal involving U.S. Navy ships in the Pacific, particularly in Singapore, where ships, where high-ranking officers, admirals, captains of ships, commanders of ships were coordinating with a civilian out there to have special benefits for their ships when they pulled into port. It was a bribery scheme so that they would hire a certain company to handle their port operations for inflated prices, and as a result, they would get kickbacks in the form of cash, fancy hotels, prostitutes, nice dinners, extravagant parties, things like that. And this went on for a long time, involving multiple ships, multiple commanders, very high-ranking officers. It was a huge deal. You can look up, just look up Fat Leonard bribery, Fat Leonard Navy, something like that. You can read all about it. The commanding officer of the aircraft carrier I was on was caught up in it. The USS Reagan, Ronald Reagan, was caught up in it. It was crazy. By the way, guys, this water bottle right here that saves me on a daily basis, keep me hydrated, linked in the description down below. It's an Amazon link. But ScuttleButt Show stickers available at ScuttleButtShow.com to decorate your merch. All that available at ScuttleButtShow.com. You guys can check that out. You guys know the deal. Support the channel. Membership's available. You can click that join button right below the video. Here, let me show you guys. If you guys go to the video, click this join button right here. Boom. You can join Sea Legs, Polywog, Shellback. Start getting benefits, discounts in the online store right away. You guys know the deal. You can go check out Patreon. You guys can go check out Patreon. If you become an elite patron, then on your second month, I'm going to send you a free t-shirt, and I'm going to hook you guys on Patreon and members up with books when they're ready. Sorry I'm late to the party, but we're on the same page, though. Lieutenant Colonel's wrong about how we went about expressing his disapproval of the withdrawal. Yeah, I mean, I agree with him about accountability. I don't agree with his messaging about bringing down the whole system. He basically made a lot of enemies, for sure. He made it impossible for anybody in the military to support him without getting in trouble. Now he's taking on the General Berger, saying that he knows that they want to court-martial him. Here it says, he went into work this morning. I was ordered by my commanding officer to go to the hospital for a mental health screening. I was evaluated by the mental health specialist and then sent on my way to see. My CO is a stand-up guy, and I understand why he did it, but it brings up a couple of important issues. First, excusing the actions of service members because of PTSD does more damage to service members than any trauma in combat. I've been in very traumatic combat situations, but because of that, I am stronger. Post-traumatic growth. If you're worried about someone, you should reach out and check on them, but never excuse a service member's actions with a wave of the hand to PTSD. You were crippling them by failing to hold them accountable. And for the people who checked on me after my last video, I'm sorry if I scared you, but know that despite my emotions, my words are always carefully thought out. For his followers, he says, for my followers, I'm not going anywhere. Everyone is scared that the weight of the system is crashing down on me, but I know something something you don't, it's the system that's going to break, not me. Now, I appreciate you guys out there, right? The audience of the ScuttleButt Show, the community that we have here. It's growing. It's growing. I appreciate it. But, you know, I don't know what to say here. I appreciate you guys. I know that your support is true. I know that you guys care. I know that you're here, but I only know you through staring down this barrel of this lens here. And I wouldn't destroy my life potentially if you guys said you had my back in it. No disrespect to the audience out there. You guys are the best. But if a bunch of people that I don't actually know, that haven't been through hard times with me, that haven't been through the dirty stuff, the bad stuff, got their hands dirty with me, say that they've got my back in something, what am I supposed to, what's anybody supposed to do with that? I think it's a scary road to go down. I don't think that this is going to end well for him. That was the point of my video in the first place. And notice, nobody who has these strong feelings for Stu Scheller is here in the comments today, because nobody has time for it. Nobody has time for it. Nobody actually wants to show up and have a conversation. That's about how much time that they have, is to leave a comment on a YouTube video or a Facebook post and move on. On to the next thing. On to the next hero of the day. Flavor of the week. I agree, Max. What he did was delegitimization, the authority of the chain of command. You do not do that in uniform. That is insubordination. It goes against our core values. Hey, Max is talking about something more important than video games. Flat earthers aren't a cult. We know Max as in Scuttlebutt Max, not in the Mosul trenches Max, but happy to know Max nonetheless. Thank you. It's like saying truthers are a cult. I don't know what a truther is. Flat Earth, if you guys have seen like the Flat Earth documentary on Ike called it, if you do both, Justin will sing the national anthem backwards. Is it possible that Scheller isn't the victim as you view him, but rather an opportunist looking to capitalize on the emotions of others? Is it possible, Eric? Is it possible? Of course. Time will tell. Here's another thing. Thank you for that comment, because it reminds me of this other thing. In the same video, in the same 10-minute response video that he made, he said he doesn't want anybody to donate. He doesn't want anyone to donate to him. He doesn't want anyone to give him any money, but also he needs money from the Bellwether Alliance, the philanthropists, the Congress people. In the same video, he doesn't want anything and he wants things, and he's gonna need it. It's true. He says that the government's going to be the one who needs. He says the government, the military, the Marine Corps is going to be the one who needs money and benefits when he's done with them. Where have we heard that before? Somebody said Eddie Gallagher earlier. Eddie Gallagher, wasn't he supposed to bring the whole system down? Is that still in progress? You know, he got screwed. A lot of people that I've heard don't like what he did, don't agree with the path he went down. He's made probably a pretty penny off of that whole thing. Luckily, he's not in prison. I'm glad he's not in prison. It seems like he probably didn't deserve to end up in prison. The Navy really dropped the ball on that one. But a lot of big talk. And what do we have in the end? A podcast? All these people who say they're going to bring down the system, no one's ever brought down the system. Remember what I said when we first had the conversation in the first video? I said, do you want a Jason Bourne? This is how you get a Jason Bourne. But it's really, in reality, you don't get a Jason Bourne, you get a podcast. And in addition to the victims out there who are the Marines sailor and soldier killed by ISIS, by an ISIS suicide bomber, by terrorists. The real enemy, the terrorists. You've got all the people at AITB. You've got all his subordinates. You've got all his subordinates who now have a first of all, they have a tough choice to make. Do they choose to continue to support their commander publicly, privately, in uniform, out of uniform? Who knows how that's going to affect other people's careers? But either way, they've got probably an intermediary leader in there right now, a semi-permanent or non-permanent leader taking charge of the command while they find somebody else. You've got a good Marine with combat experience who can no longer influence other Marines. He'll never be able to get out there and influence other Marines. He'll never be able to create strong leaders the way that he thinks that they should be by influencing young JOs out of the Citadel, out of the Naval Academy, whatever. Gee, it's almost as if something forged through centuries of history and culture can't just be brought down. And so this dude is clearly insane and overestimates his power. I don't know if he's insane. Jax, I wish I could go back to the type of youthful ignorance I had in boot camp so many years ago. Good times. Yeah. Snake Plissken brought the system down. Goes against our motto of always faithful. What does he even mean by bringing the whole system down? What is his method or his intent? Truthers. 9/11 truthers. 9/11 truthers are wrong. Can't wait for Taliban to start doing TikToks. They already are. So I showed you guys that Reddit, Facebook post. I hope that's not true. I hope he still has his family support. No one here, no one shows up. Just like Jonathan Pentland. Where's the accountability for Jonathan Pentland for the Army throwing him under the bus? For his home getting destroyed, for his family getting ran out of their town. The Army just throws him under the bus. They have a lot to say about that. They don't have leadership in the Army doesn't have a lot to say about the Afghanistan withdrawal. Leadership in the Navy doesn't either. They have a lot to say about Jonathan Pentland. There is an accountability problem. That's true. I've been talking about it for a long time. I've always talked about it. Always, forever. Anybody who's ever been in the military knows it. That commanders, that high-ranking officers, high-ranking enlisted, sometimes high-ranking enlisted get, punished, but in reality, that's the reality. That's the truth. The people who are supposed to be held to the highest standards are held to the lowest, and no one's cared until right now, and they're not going to care in a week. So, and here I am on YouTube Live 5 days a week talking about all the problems in the military. My thoughts on them, at least, getting a conversation going with you guys. And no one wants to show up. No one wants to show up to have that conversation. It's scary. It's scary. I get it. It's scary. It's scary to talk about terrorism. It's scary to talk about standing up to leadership. That's why Stu is going to find himself mostly alone at the end of the day. I think. I could be wrong. And I could be wrong about everything I just said. Everybody's gangster while typing comments on Facebook won't be the same when the FBI shows up at the doorstep. Too much nepotism leadership has their little pet projects. Then those pet projects get pet projects and it becomes a big mess. Like the uniforms, like Navy uniforms, for example. Unfortunately, I have a lot of peers that are reposting and speaking positively about his message, be that they agree with him or not. He is making Marines question the chain of command's authority. Facebook and social media is not a real revolution. Posting things on the internet is not actual support. That's what I said. You guys, that's what I said in my video. Posting comments saying, we've got your six, you're right, we need Americans like you, is not a real movement. A hashtag is not a movement. Because you've got a guy here who's definitely changing his life. He has changed his life. For better or worse remains to be seen, but he has changed his life, and he's not the first one. And he's saying on his social media post that he's inspired by his followers. That's not the way to do it. That is not the way to do it. We'll see who has his back at the end of the day. We'll see who has his back. I'm sure quietly in private, people have been going to chat with him, check on him, tell him he has a place to stay. But I'd like to see all those people on Facebook, on LinkedIn. They're going to let him. You going to let Stu crash on your couch if he needs it? Probably not. Probably get your ass beat by your wife. Or vice versa. We've got, if you just look at the comments, just look at the comments and look at who's making the comments. I am unaffected by these negative YouTube comments. I am unfazed. Completely unfazed. It is it's not effective. It's not meaningful. New comment here. Fellow vet here who did 15 years combination of enlisted and officer. You think people aren't trying to change things from within the system? Come on, you got to know that isn't realistic. I would say that someone would have much more influence from the outside, such as politics, than you will ever have even as an 05. An 05 has very little pull in the grand scheme of things. He certainly burned some bridges doing what he did, but the question is, if he started to build even more, I don't have the answer to that, and time will tell. But I do have to say that the ideology and mentioned methods of changing it from within are limited in scope at best. You simply can't affect that much change from that low of a position. He needs to pin at least a star, or maybe a few, to have the same clout as a veteran low-level politician such as Dan Crenshaw. No disrespect to you. Appreciate what you were doing. But you can change. But that's not my point. That's not what I said in the video. You can change people. You can change people. That's all you can change. Because the system doesn't matter. The system doesn't mean anything. You can change people. That's it. That's all you can change is people. Someone says here, Stu Scheller will be asking for your money and votes soon. I too have my distrust. All you can do is change people. And now he can't change the people who matter anymore. All he's got is the people who are fanatical on the internet. Can't wait for Facebook to go the way of MySpace. What happened to just having people's phone numbers? It's going to suck if most of his followers turn out to be bots. Something definitely clicked in his head when he saw the engagement on the first video, and he just wanted more from there. What else is there to change but people? There's nothing else to change but people. And you can't change the people who matter if you can't get to where they're at. And if he wants to change the military, he has to change the people. Now he's out of the military. Or he will be soon. He's going to get crushed if that's what the government decides. So just remember, guys. Just remember, Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer, where is he today? Where is he today? Speaking at a church? What is this? I mean, I'm not laughing at a church, but is this what he's trickled down to, is speaking at a critical race theory to senior citizens at a church? Is this it? Is he one of the guests? This story has been updated to include the correct spelling of Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer's name. That's why it didn't pop up before. So this is it. This is it right here, you guys. This is it right here. This is the end of the road. Is talking about the dangers of critical race theory to a senior citizen home. That's sad. That's sad. This is where Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer landed. This is what happens when you try to make a big emotional statement once. This is where you end up. And what impact is this having? No offense to senior citizens. You guys know I love my senior citizens. You guys know I love my Vietnam, Korea, World War II veteran generation. A lot of respect. But what impact is this having right here? Speaking to 100 senior citizens about CRT. And nothing else since June. Nothing else since June. Let's see. What's this one? The Free Press Tampa. What's this one? Leaving the service. The former space commander who spoke out against the spread of Marxism and critical race theory within the military is now leaving the service. He did not disclose why he decided to leave. He requested an early retirement but was denied. The Air Force did agree to an honorable discharge. So at least he got an honorable discharge. He'll get his benefits. He did not get a early retirement. So now he's speaking to, you guys saw it. So is that the destination of the journey that Stu Scheller is on right now? To speak to panels of, concerned voters in small groups, in small settings? That's what I think. That's my theory. And guess what? I'm the only person I know following up on stories 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road. So, I'll keep you guys informed on the ScuttleButt Show. I'm the only person I know doing it. Everyone else will just forget that he ever existed and continue on thinking that they're heroes. Everyone else will just continue on thinking that every next, flash in the pan, leader, spokesman for the cause is going to make the difference and never learn from their previous mistakes. But I'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep following up. If he's clever about it, he'll write a book and get on Joe Rogan. I think you showed us the answer, Max. Critical race theory is awesome. What's going to be weird is if he gets elected and has to fill out security clearance forms and answer that question about making threats against the government. Yeah. Yeah, I always did wonder on the SF-86. Imagine, did you ever participate in an attempt to overthrow the government? And you have to, yes, my specialty. That's my specialty. I'm trying to write my book and get on Joe Rogan, you guys, by the way. If you guys have any thoughts on titles for the book, make sure you send them to me. I'm open, crowdsourcing. If any artists out there want to do a book cover for me, I would love that. I would love to have a book cover come from the audience. That'd be incredible. That'd be awesome. So, guys, we're getting near the end of the show today. I just want to leave you with a couple thoughts. If you guys have any questions for me, drop them. But if you guys, remember what I'm always telling you, which is please follow up on things in the news. Follow up on the things you care about. 6 months later, a year later, go back on your social media profiles, okay? See what you were posting about a year ago and see if any of that stuff matters today. See if any of your heroes from a year ago, oh yeah, I wonder what happened to that guy or girl. Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing that I said I was willing to give it all up for. I kind of forgot. See if any of that stuff matters today, all right? Before you get caught up in the news cycle of the day. Before you end up making your one big emotional stand in a way that ends up causing you great harm to your career, to your life, to your family and friends. Don't confuse internet commenters with genuine support and meaningful movements. But I love you guys. I do love the ScuttleButt Show audience. I'm here for you guys. I'm keeping it real. I'll always tell you the truth. I'll always tell you the honest thoughts that I have about everything. You can guarantee that. And I appreciate you guys' support. As always, all the ways to support the ScuttleButt Show are linked in the description down below. Please check those out. Consider Patreon or joining as a member on YouTube as a way to support. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tiffany, Nuggets, Techno, Justin. I did not give Joe Rogan COVID. Hopefully he's okay. I hope Joe Rogan's okay. I like Joe Rogan. I hope he's okay. Game stream later. Probably not today, to be honest. But probably this weekend, but probably not today. I have to go take care of some stuff. I just stopped watching the news every day because it has a lot of COVID on there, and I don't want to hear that every day. Please be careful with COVID. As somebody who just fully vaccinated, and within 6 months of being vaccinated, I still got COVID, and I'm still coughing. I'm still feeling bad. Lungs damaged. So please don't put yourself in any unnecessary risk. Don't listen to people who are saying that it doesn't matter if you get it or don't get it. It matters. It does. Of course it matters anytime you get sick, okay? Of course it matters anytime you get sick. I'm not here to tell you about COVID and vaccines and all that stuff, but you just should always try not to get sick, okay? So please take care of yourselves, diet and exercise to give yourself the best chance of getting over any disease, especially respiratory diseases, to avoid complications. I consider myself in good shape and overall healthy, and I got it, and I'm vaccinated, and I got sick. So if that helps you guys make any choices about life at all, then that's great. Do what you want with that information. I'm not here to tell you how to live your lives. I'm not going to ever do that. So, but I got sick. I felt terrible. Couldn't smell anything. Still can't really smell. Couldn't taste. Coughing my ass off. Having a hard time sleeping at night. Having a hard time with, getting out of breath and all that stuff. So it affects everybody differently. You don't want to find out the hard way that you're somebody who is going to have major symptoms, right? So anyway, that's enough of that. I've talked about that enough. I stopped watching news every day because there's a lot of COVID on there, yeah. Join Patreon, get a free t-shirt, yep. And always vote Democrat. Thank you, Max. Bless you, Max. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best. You guys mean a lot to me. I'll be online this weekend, either writing or some gaming. I'm not spending as much time going out and doing stuff since I've been recovering. My wife's great. Thank you, Tiffany. My wife's great. She's fantastic. She's untouchable. She's superhuman. So, yeah, she's good. She's doing great. Back at work, everything. I'm still sick. I'm wrapped up in 3 different blankets right now, Phantom. Oh, sorry to hear that. If anybody out there is dealing with Hurricane Ida right now, I hope you guys are doing well. I've heard about all the damage done in the Northeast and Louisiana. I hope you guys are hanging in there. Good luck. If you don't stream this weekend, have a great one. Jax with a $4.99 super chat. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Jax, very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here in the comments and for a super chat. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those super chats mean a lot. Trust me, those super chats go a long way towards the book, towards the program, making the show the best it can be, all that stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you for asking about my wife. Thank you for asking about my dog, all that stuff. I appreciate it. Incredible community that we have here. I hope you guys don't think that when I was saying before about online supporters that I don't appreciate you guys. I do appreciate you guys a lot. I respect you guys. I work hard to give you guys the best program possible. And we're growing a community slowly but surely here of people who matter, people who are engaged, people who care, and people who are coming back every day. Thank you. Stay consistent. You are highly underrated. Well, if you guys want to get me properly rated, one of the best ways to do that is to share the channel, share the videos. And I'm hoping that and honestly, that's the reason that I'm removing the live shows from the stream is I'm concerned that it's affecting discoverability and watchability of the channel. So after this weekend, you're not going to be able to find replays of live streams. They will be on podcast. They're always on the podcast. So make sure you guys just subscribe to the podcast. It would help a lot if you dropped a review on the podcast. That would be great. Yeah, and all that stuff. I love you guys. I do. I love this. I love being here with you guys. I love having this conversation. Thank you for always being honest with me, too, when you have critical feedback, when you guys disagree with me. That's what I love. I love that. I know you weren't talking about us. Podcast time. Don't just vote for a D or an R. That's a bad recipe. I agree. Love the community. Very supportive. My dog is mixed breed. You can find her on Instagram, probably. All right, guys. With all that being said, thank you so much. You guys rock. Follow up. Do your research. Be educated. Be smart. Be thoughtful. Be critical thinkers. And I will be online hopefully this weekend, but I'll definitely be back Sunday night, 1800 Pacific Standard Time with another show. Is there ever going to be good news ever again? There's always some good news. Today wasn't bad news. We just had a conversation today. I'll always end the show with good news, right? I'll always end the show with good news, so you can expect Sunday night's show to end with good news. I'll see you guys there. Same ScuttleButt Show time, same ScuttleButt Show place. And until then, until next time, that's the ScuttleButt.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.